Joining us to talk about it, once again, our panel, Ari Rabin-Havt, host of The Agenda and a former advisor to Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, and, of course, from our newsroom in South Florida, Javier Manjarres, managing editor of the Shark Tank political blog. Javier, we're going to begin in Florida. The governor's race. Here comes Bill Clinton for Charlie Crist. There are the television commercials saying that Charlie Crist and Barack Obama are on the same wavelength. What is going to happen in the Sunshine State?
Well, look, the newest poll came out, New York Times poll came out last night or this morning that has Scott up by 3 or 4 points over Charlie Crist. Again, but then last week we had a poll where he was down. Look, it's going to come down to the wire. I fully think that Rick Scott will eventually prevail, even regardless of the Bill Clinton cigar tour here in Florida. I think Scott will prevail because it's a midterm election, and I think more Republicans will, Florida voters will see who actually Rick Scott is running against, which is the former Republican turned independent turned Democrat, Charlie Crist.
Well, Ari, the notion of President Clinton coming to Florida, does that light a fire under Florida Democrats and help Charlie Crist?
Look, I think Bill Clinton has been, remains, and is the number one draw among the Democratic base. He's been that for 20 years now. They love him, and he can bring out the vote. You said Bill Clinton's back. I don't know when he went away. Every election season, he is out there working his tail off to elect Democrats, and that's what he does.
And as we look ahead to 2016, here in Florida, Governor Perry trying to stay out front during this Ebola crisis nationally. If he does so, let me just ask you, does this help Perry, of all people, be in position for national politics?
Well, I think it's going to help him either way. I mean, he has to do what he has to do as governor and protect the citizens of Texas. But at the end of the day, it's going to go down to, do Americans support him over the likes of Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and Chris Christie? I don't think it'll make much of a difference in his presidential aspirations. So again, it'll be interesting to see what he does with this, if he exploits this, because there's that fine line. If he goes too far and exploits it for political gain, it's going to work against him.
Yeah, correction. Rick Perry, of course, the governor of Florida. Rick Rick Perry, the governor of Texas. Rick Scott, the governor of Florida. I got to separate my Ricks out. It's Monday morning. One thing we don't have to separate now. Well, go ahead, Ari, very quickly.
Oh, no, I just said one has hair, one doesn't. That's how.
Yeah, right. I will take that as a point of reference. Another Bush may be looking at running for president, who was a former governor of Florida. That, of course, would be Jeb. Now Barbara Bush says she's no longer opposed. She's kind of neutral on that. Gentlemen, 20 seconds each, your reaction on Jeb Bush and a possible presidential campaign. Javier, to you first.
Look, he's going to run, and all the signs point that he's going to run, with his mom backing, saying that she's supporting him now, where before she opposed him. His brother coming out saying he supports him. He supports her. His dad. Everyone is expecting Bush to run. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with Rubio, who recently said that he is not going to wait for a Bush announcement to decide what he's going to do.
And Ari, if Jeb Bush gets in, you don't think it works for him, do you? 10 seconds.
I don't see how Jeb Bush wins the nomination in that Republican field. Far be it from me to tell Republicans who to nominate. But if he
gotcha. We'll have to end it right there, guys. Up against the clock. Thanks so much.